January 15th, 1947. Leimert Park, Los Angeles. A mother and her young daughter are out for a morning walk when they spot something strange in a vacant lot. From a distance, it looks like a discarded mannequin, broken in half. But as they get closer, a horrifying realization dawns on them. It's not a mannequin. It's the body of a young woman, posed and grotesquely mutilated. This discovery would ignite one of the most infamous and enduring unsolved murder mysteries in American history, the case of the Black Dahlia. Who was she? Her name was Elizabeth Short, a 22-year-old aspiring actress from Massachusetts. She was striking, with pale skin, dark hair often adorned with flowers, and a captivating smile. She drifted to Hollywood with dreams of stardom, like so many others. But her life was a transient one, filled with odd jobs, fleeting romances, and a constant search for a place to stay. Friends described her as a sweet but somewhat naive girl, chasing a dream that always seemed just out of reach. Her penchant for black clothing, a popular style at the time, would posthumously earn her the nickname that would echo through the decades, the Black Dahlia. The condition of her body was shocking, even for seasoned LAPD detectives. She had been bisected at the waist with surgical precision, drained of all blood, and her organs were removed. Her face was carved into a haunting, permanent grin, a Glasgow smile that stretched from ear to ear. There were other marks of torture all over her body. The killer had washed her clean and posed her body deliberately in that vacant lot, ensuring she would be found. It wasn't just a murder. It was a statement. But what was it trying to say? Within hours, the press descended on the case like vultures. Competing newspapers plastered Elizabeth's face on their front pages, dubbing her the Black Dahlia and sensationalizing every detail of her life and death. They painted her as a mysterious femme fatale, a party girl who frequented Hollywood hotspots, which only added to the public's morbid fascination. This media frenzy created a chaotic atmosphere. The police department was inundated with tips, many of them false leads. Dozens of people, seeking their 15 minutes of fame, falsely confessed to the horrific crime. Separating fact from fiction became a near impossible task for the investigators. The killer, or someone claiming to be him, even began to taunt the authorities. About a week after the body was found, the editor of the Los Angeles Examiner received a chilling package. Inside were Elizabeth Short's social security card, her birth certificate, photographs, and an address book. The items had been wiped clean with gasoline, erasing any potential fingerprints. The package also included a letter, assembled from newspaper clippings, which read, "Here are Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow." The police and the press waited, but the promised letter, the one that might explain it all, never arrived. The killer simply vanished back into the shadows, leaving a trail of terror and confusion. The investigation was massive. The LAPD interviewed over 150 potential suspects in the initial weeks alone. Every man Elizabeth had ever known, from casual acquaintances to brief romantic partners, was scrutinized. The list of suspects became a who's who of mid-century Los Angeles, including shadowy figures from the city's underworld, jealous lovers, and even prominent members of society. The surgical nature of the bisection led many to believe the killer had medical knowledge. This focused suspicion on several doctors. One prominent physician, Dr. George Hodel, became a prime suspect years later, largely due to accusations made by his own son, a former LAPD homicide detective named Steve Hodel. Steve Hodel's theory is one of the most compelling and detailed. He argues that his father, a brilliant but sinister man with a known dark side and connections to surrealist art circles, was the killer. He found photos of a woman who looked strikingly like Elizabeth Short among his father's belongings and discovered that his father owned a property just blocks from where the body was found. Furthermore, he presented handwriting analysis linking his father to notes supposedly sent by the killer. He even suggested that his father was responsible for several other unsolved murders in the area. While his evidence is extensive and has convinced many, it remains circumstantial. The LAPD never officially charged George Hodel, and he died in 1999, taking any secrets he might have had to his grave. But Dr. Hodel was far from the only theory. Another line of investigation pointed towards a crime of passion. Could it have been a spurned lover, driven to a jealous rage? Elizabeth had a complex personal life and was known to date many men, often for a free meal or a place to stay. Perhaps one of these relationships turned violent. Detectives chased leads involving servicemen, Hollywood producers, and small-time hustlers. One suspect was a man she was reportedly seen with just days before her death, but he had a solid alibi. Every lead seemed to unravel, leading detectives down one dead-end street after another. Some investigators also explored the possibility that the Black Dahlia murder was connected to other brutal slayings, like the Cleveland torso murders of the 1930s. In that series of crimes, an unidentified killer dismembered at least a dozen victims. The similarities in the method, the dismemberment, the lack of blood at the scene, were eerie. Could the same killer have moved to Los Angeles and struck again? It was a terrifying thought, suggesting a serial killer was operating across the country. But a concrete link between the cases was never established, and it remained just another tantalizing but unproven theory. The case grew colder with each passing year. Files thickened, but answers remained elusive. The initial investigators retired or passed away, taking their personal insights and hunches with them. The case was officially closed, then reopened, then became the stuff of legend. It inspired countless books, movies, and TV shows, cementing Elizabeth Short not as the actress she dreamed of being, but as the eternal victim in a real-life horror story. Her story serves as a dark reminder of the unfulfilled promise and hidden dangers of old Hollywood. So who killed the Black Dahlia? Was it a brilliant, sadistic doctor? A jilted lover consumed by rage? A transient serial killer passing through town? Or someone else entirely? A name lost to history? We may never know for sure. The trail has gone cold, and the key players are long gone. But the mystery endures. The gruesome, unsolved murder of Elizabeth Short continues to captivate and horrify us. It's a chilling puzzle with a missing piece, a ghost story that still haunts the city of Los Angeles, forever asking the question that has no answer. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. What are your theories on the case? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy true crime and historical mysteries, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you next time.